Hey everybody, it's Amanda, and it's the first day of our summer of savings, and I'm here to share with you 23 ways that you can save money on gas, and I have a bonus if you wait till the end of the video. Okay everyone, I am so excited and so serious to start the summer of savings because I really want to take a trip to California and see my youngest son and his wife. So Rick and I are tightening up on the budget like crazy, and we thought we would just share some of the things that we're doing with you guys. So today we're talking about saving money on gas, because what do people want to save money on more right now? You know what I'm saying? So I looked up a few things. I have a few tips of my own, and I'm going to share them. 23, and if you stay to the end, I even have a bonus. So some of these you probably already, have thought of, but some of them you might not have. So listen to the whole list, and if you just implement a few of them, you could probably make a big difference in your gas budget, particularly since prices are so high. So without any further ado, number one, that's your most basic tip. I know you've already thought of this one, but I'm going to reiterate it anyway. Stay home. You guys, I can give you every tip in the book, but if you're gonna just go out and drive, then you're gonna spend a lot of money, okay? Just tip number one, stay home, don't go out. It's not even worth it if you don't have to. Tip number two, though, is in conjunction with that, and that's the idea of making your home an oasis. Last year we put a fire pit in our backyard. We even, on our back porch, we got new porch furniture, and we got it really inexpensively. The table was one that a friend of my mom's had that she was getting rid of. It was rusted, didn't have any chairs. I sanded it down, spray painted it, cleaned it up, and we bought chairs at Walmart on clearance, and then we bought an umbrella at Walmart on clearance. And even if you take into the account the fire pit, all of it was only a few $100s, and one tank of gas in my van right now is $90. So for the cost of a few tanks of gas, you can make your home a place that you really want to hang out in. And I'm telling you right now, Rick and I, where we used to go out on all of his days off, a lot of times we would just sit and hang out in the fire pit, and the kids want to come over too. So if you can do something to make your place the place that not only you want to be, but your friends want to be, you're gonna save gas on that too. So that's tip number two. Tip number three is shop local. We live in a very rural area. We're like an hour from a mall, but that doesn't mean that you're gonna always be able to stay home. There are some things that you need to get. You need to get groceries, you need to get clothes. There are things that you need to buy. We talk about staycations, where it doesn't just mean you stay in your house, it just means that you're gonna stay local. Now there's probably, even if you've lived in your area your whole life, there's probably stores that you haven't explored. There's probably restaurants you haven't tried. Make this the summer that you really get to know your hometown and your area, and you can really save money on gas. Tip number four is plan your trips strategically. Now, like I said, you have errands you're gonna need to run. You're probably gonna need to leave the house at least 1 to 2 times a week. So what I wanna encourage you to do is make sure you're planning your trips strategically so that you're not going back and forth. You're planning your route so that you're gonna hit all of the things that you need to hit in order, making a little circle and coming back to your house. Draw a map if you need to, or make use of your GPS or Google Maps. A lot of times it has a route planning option for you, but you want to try to plan it so you're using as little gas as possible. Put all the trips together, do it all at once, be strategic, and you'll save some money. Another way you can plan your trips, and you might not have thought of this one, is planning your trips around the terrain. Now, we live in Western North Carolina, and we live about an hour from Asheville and about an hour from Charlotte. Now, Asheville is up in the mountains, and Charlotte is definitely not. It's just to the east. It's kind of a straight shot. So guess what? This summer I'm avoiding Asheville because it's much more gas for my car to try to make it up a mountain than it is for it to try to go the same distance in a straight line. So if you're like us, if you have terrain that might be challenging, plan your trip if you have the option to go to the opposite place, the place that has the easy terrain, and that will use less gas in your car and probably a little less wear and tear too. Again, talking strategy, strategically use your vehicles. That's tip number 6. My husband drives the most in our family, and we have a van and we have a car, and the car uses much less gas. So So when Rick is taking a vehicle out, he takes the car, and the van pretty much sits here unless we need it. So strategically plan to use your, don't just get yourself connected to one car. Don't do that. That's my car, that's your car. No, whoever commutes the most should definitely get the car that has the best gas mileage. We're gonna use whatever one makes sense for us in terms of saving money, and if you can plan to use your vehicle strategically, you can save a lot of money. So all of those tips were just about using your vehicle. These tips that I have coming up here, they are about driving. Tip number 7 is drive slowly. Now, these tips, you guys, I'm no expert, but you can Google all of these and find that this is 100% true. They say if you drive slowly, particularly if you're down in the 60, under 65, under 55, even better, you are going to use significantly less gas. Now, I know that I like to put the pedal to the metal on occasion, but I also like to save money. So I will leave a little earlier so that I'm not running late, so that I don't feel tempted to go faster, and just take my time, tell myself in advance, we're taking a slow drive today, and just plan to drive slowly, stay in the slow lane, don't even look at the speedy lane, okay? But if you drive slowly, you'll save a whole lot more gas. On that note, tip number 8 is accelerate slowly. Any of these quick speed ups, slow down, they're going to really throw you off in terms of your gas mileage. You don't want to do that. Accelerate slowly. If you need to get up speed, don't just try to zoom out there and you will save. Tip number 9, limit your braking in the same manner. You know, if you're braking and you have to speed up to start again, all of that back and forth. I mean, just generally you want to avoid stop and go traffic if you can, but the limit braking, the accelerate slowly, all of that with that stop and go traffic, you want to try to just give yourself plenty of room between vehicles, slow down, and then brake if necessary, and then slowly accelerate so that you get back up to the speed of traffic. So the next 2 tips actually are things that we kind of had the opposite wisdom when I was younger, but now it seems like things have changed. So one of the tips that used to be true when I was young, they used to say, don't use your AC, that'll use too much gas, roll down your windows. Well, apparently now, particularly if you have a newer car, they've made the engines and all of the machinery so efficient that it's actually better to go ahead and use the AC and not roll your windows down. So double check with your manufacturer, but generally speaking, if you have a newer car, you want to go ahead and use the AC, and that will save you more gas than using your windows and getting all of that drag. So that's kind of a good thing. Another one that I heard when I was younger was if you are going to need to sit in a place for a while, go ahead and leave your car on and idle, and that would use less gas than starting the engine back up again. Well, again, engines are more efficient now, so if you are going to be sitting somewhere more than 1 minute, turn your car off. Don't let it idle. It's actually better to go ahead and turn it back on than to let it sit and idle for a while. So those are 2, again, check your make and model, but those are 2 recommendations that I saw that I thought, that's interesting, because I'd always heard the opposite. So maybe that's true for you as well. So let's talk about car maintenance. Tip number 12 is to reduce weight in your vehicle if you can. If you have a bunch of stuff, like you have that old weight set in the trunk of your car, or like we had an old minivan that you could actually remove the seats very easily out of the van. Now they just fold under. But my old one, I would have just taken those seats out and significantly reduced the weight that your vehicle is carrying. The extra weight that you have is really going to impact your gas efficiency. So if you have any extra weight, get rid of it. Tip number 13 is related, and that's the idea of removing any bike racks or other exterior storage that you have on your vehicle. That's going to create a lot of drag that is going to, again, significantly reduce your gas efficiency. You want to get rid of anything off your vehicle. You know, you probably aren't biking all the time that it's that much of a pain to take it off. Anything that you have, just take it off if you're not using it and put it back on when you intend to use it. Don't waste that extra gas if you don't have to. Number 14, I know you're frustrated when you're pumping gas. You probably want to leave the gas station as quickly as possible, but make sure your gas cap is tight. You want to tighten that gas cap because it is going to make a big difference in your gas usage, okay? Make sure it's completely tight. That's just a little tip, just to give it a little extra, just to make sure. Number 15, properly inflate your tires. We had a truck for a really long time. I miss my truck, I love it. But I always knew when my truck tires were not inflated right, because I would notice that the gas went significant. I mean, it would just fly out of that tank. I haven't noticed it so much in cars, but it is true whether you're in cars or trucks. I just think it happens a little slower so you don't notice it. But we're trying to get the use of every single bit of gas that we can. So double check, make sure all of your vehicle's tires are properly inflated, and that will definitely save you gas money. On that note, tip number 16 is make sure that all of your car maintenance is up to date. I saw one statistic that said an oxygen sensor that's out, something that you might not even think of, might not even want to fix or replace. Having that fixed can improve your gas mileage up to 40%. You guys, if gas is between $5 and $7 a gallon where you are, like it is where we are, 40% is a lot of money, okay? Any kind of lights that you have on, double check, take it in. It's probably a lot cheaper to fix a little sensor than to continually pay for additional gas. Don't do it. Check your car's maintenance. So my next few tips will help you when it comes to gas purchases. Number 17 is try to keep your gas tank full. Don't wait till it goes all the way down to E to fill up. The truth of the matter is at the full level, it actually runs out a little slower than if you get down to E, then it's gonna run out quicker. So the closer you can stay to full, the less gas you'll waste, and all of those pennies add up. Tip 18 is pay with cash. There are gas stations out there that if you pay with cash, you actually get a lower price. So if you have one in your area, go ahead and make sure you have that cash and pay for your gas in cash and take advantage of that discount. There are very few places where you can get discounts on gas nowadays. Take every one that you can. Tip 19 is buy your gas early or late. Now this is statistically speaking. They say if it's before 9 a.m. or after 9 p.m., you're probably getting the lowest prices. So if you happen to be out during those hours, like if you have a choice between going before work or after work, well, after work's 5 p.m., before work is before 9 a.m., go before work and you're gonna get the better price. Tip 20, this is a tip for free gas. If you have a birthday, if you have a holiday, if you have an anniversary, if you have anything coming up, tell your family to get you gas cards. Okay, it's not free to them, but it'll be free to you. We have Father's Day coming up, and that's all Rick wants for Father's Day is gas cards. So if you have something like that, that is a great way to go ahead, like, I mean, even a baby shower, you guys, whatever you have coming up, gas cards make a great gift. And you know, if you want to tell people that you can receive a great gift, gas cards for gift cards for gas, that is what you want to have. Speaking of cards, tip number 21 is grocery store cards. Now a lot of grocery stores have programs where if you use their grocery store card, you get a certain number of points, and that can be gas discounts. Our particular local grocery store, there's one day a week that if you shop on that day of the week, you get triple your gas points. So in that regard, you would need to shop strategically. But check out your grocery stores and see if they have any kind of bonuses or gas discounts that you can take advantage of, especially since you're going to be buying groceries anyway. 22 is other rewards programs. You guys, gas stations have rewards programs. Frankly, Walmart even has a reward program now that I saw that if you sign up, they actually give you discounts on different gas stations like Exxon or Mobil or something. You can look on the Walmart website if you're interested. This is not sponsored. I'm just trying to tell you how to save. But check out any of the places that you normally go to and see if they have opportunities for savings on gas. Go explore to your heart's content. Just a few minutes. I mean, you're probably sitting on your phone in the morning, at night anyway. A few minutes with a little search and you could probably save yourself a ton of money in gas this summer. So see what you can find in terms of reward programs at gas stations and other stores, and there you might save a little extra gas too. Tip 23 is another one that we do personally. Now my daughter and her husband have a electric vehicle, and so they use their grocery store discount card and they get points on it because they're trying to save money on their groceries, but they don't use the gas points because they have an electric vehicle. So what she and I do is we switch our grocery store cards. We pass them back and forth, and she allows us to take advantage of her gas discounts that would otherwise go to waste. So if you have a family member or a friend that has an electric vehicle and they're not using their gas points, you might ask them if you could use their gas points and see if that might give you a little extra discount as well. But my very last bonus tip has nothing to do with gas in your vehicle at all. That's why I'm calling it a bonus tip, because every other suggestion that I've given you is about saving gas in terms of your vehicle. This tip is about saving gas in terms of your lawn maintenance. okay? So here's my tip. A lot of us this summer are using gas to cut our grass, trim it, do any kind of other yard work with tractors. What I want to encourage you to do is, if you're like us and if you're cutting your grass on a weekly schedule, instead of doing it every week, try to schedule it every week and a half. If instead of handling your lawn maintenance every week, you're doing it every week and a half, you can cut your gas budget for those items by 1/3. If you can do it instead of every week, every 2 weeks, you're gonna cut it in half. Now, it doesn't sound like much, but it will add up over the summer. So this is why it's your bonus tip. It doesn't have anything to do with your vehicle, but it is a gas usage that you might have. So let me encourage you, don't you know, break your HOA rules or anything, but if you can, trim it back just a few days every week. Instead of 7 days, do it every 10 days, and you can cut your gas budget significantly that way. So there you go. 23 easy tips to help you cut back on your gas budget. Now, I'm sure if you start implementing a few of those, you can actually save a lot of money on your gas budget. And if you're like me, it keeps going up. We've got to find ways to bring that down. If you have any additional tips to save money on gas, go ahead and put those down in the comments below and let me know if there's any that you think were really helpful. I'd love to know that. So also, you can let me know if there's another thing that you really want to save money on and I can make a video on it, because I mean, I'm always looking for ways to save. So anyway, that is it for today. Thank you for joining me. You guys keep an eye out, because I have shorts on the YouTube channel for our summer of savings every day from June 12th to August 13th. I'm sharing a single tip. I have summer hacks, summer snacks, and summer fun and learning ideas that will help you save money this summer and still have a great time. So keep an eye out for those in the shorts. Don't forget to like and subscribe, leave some comments, and thank you guys for joining us here at the Bealles. We will see you next time. Bye.